Hello and welcome to Beyond Borders Briefing, the channel where we bring you the latest news and analysis on international affairs. In today's episode, we'll talk about the war in Ukraine, where the Ukrainian army is fighting against Russian-backed separatists and regular Russian troops. We'll show you some exclusive footage and interviews from a Ukrainian frontline unit, the 24th Mechanized Brigade, and we'll also visit their hometown in western Ukraine to hear how the war has affected their families and communities. The 24th Mechanized Brigade is one of the oldest and most decorated units in the Ukrainian army. It has been fighting in the Donbas region since 2014, when Russia annexed Crimea and supported a separatist uprising in eastern Ukraine. The brigade has suffered heavy casualties and faced many challenges, but it has also adapted and evolved to counter the Russian threat. BBC Newsnight has been granted rare access to the 24th Brigade, and has produced 3 special films with the unit. In the first film, we see how the brigade operates on the front line, using drones, artillery, tanks, and infantry to attack and defend against the enemy. We also hear from the soldiers themselves, who share their stories, motivations, and fears. In the second film, we travel to the soldiers' hometown of Yavoriv, a small city near the Polish border. We meet their families and friends, who tell us how they cope with the absence and danger of their loved ones. We also see how the war has changed the city, which hosts a large military base and a NATO training center. In the third film, we explore the wider context of the war, and how it affects Ukraine's relations with its neighbors and allies. We talk to experts and officials, who explain the political and strategic implications of the conflict, and what it means for Europe's security and stability. The war in Ukraine is not only a military struggle, but also a human one. It involves millions of people who have been displaced, injured, or killed by the violence. It also involves thousands of soldiers who risk their lives every day to defend their country's sovereignty and territorial integrity. We hope that these films will give you a deeper insight into the war in Ukraine, and the people who are fighting it. You can watch them on BBC Newsnight's YouTube channel Superscript 1, or on their website. And that's all for today's episode of Beyond Borders Briefing. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more updates on international affairs.